Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Danny and this is Project Fern. In today's video we're back in the Peugeot Partner that I've just bought. I've just been away for a week, so it's straight back in now and get this car up and running properly. Today we're going to be taking the clocks out and finding what they've done to the EML, the engine management light. We're also going to be hopefully fixing the window, the driver's side electric window that doesn't work. And we're also going to be, fingers crossed, sorting the oil leak out as well. Before I start today's video, I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone who watched the last video. It's got about 30,000 views or something, which is just absolutely amazing. And it's also pushed me over 10,000 subscribers too. So thank you to everyone who's hit the subscribe button. I noticed that the response to the video was brilliant. It wasn't a name and shame video. It was just showing you the risks of buying used cars. It did bring in a few idiots. They just get ignored. Saying that I'm not trustworthy because I won't name and shame. Saying they don't trust me because I'm not naming and shaming. Which is just ridiculous, because anyone who's been around from the start of my channel, you know what my videos are all about, so we can just ignore them idiots. And going forward too, if anyone asks me a question that's in the actual video, I'm just going to ignore that as well, because you've clearly not watched the video. They're not long videos, so you just need to watch the video and find out what I'm actually saying and listen to what I'm saying, and you'll get your answer. So less of the negativity, back onto the positives. Let's start today and get this car fixed. When I collected this car, the fuel light was on, and the guy who bought it off said, "Oh, I've put some fuel in it. I put 12 quid in it and fuel light's still on." So if I start the car now, you'll see the engine management light doesn't come on, but you'll also hear a bleep. So that bleep is 100% that engine management light coming on. It's blanked out and you can't see it. But the thing is that threw me a little is the fact that that's the same noise it makes when your fuel light comes on. So I think it's a little bit more blaggy there. So, you know, I've put some fuel in it and stuff, and kind of knowing that I might think it was the fuel light coming on. But another little sneaky trick there. But let's get into the workshop now and start with the clocks. I'm going to start off by taking the donor clocks apart. I do believe it's just these little Torx bolts. I don't know if they're a Torx 10 or a Torx 15. And that should release the back bit from this cowl, and we can see how it should look. And then we'll get the other ones out of the car and we can compare the two. I've invested in Alexia diag box machine. I'll go through that in the next video when I do the EGR valve, because that has arrived, but unfortunately the EGR gasket hasn't, so I can't do that today. We've got the rocker cover gasket, which is known to fail and spit oil everywhere. We've got the standard Lucas balls for changing heater lights and stuff, and then we've got a replacement electric window module there too. So let's get set up and take these clocks apart. I've just double checked, these are a Torx 10, so let's get them whipped out. So they fell apart a little bit there. I think that's just a cover that goes over there, and then that looks like it goes maybe like that somehow. I don't know. We'll have a look on the other ones, but as you can see, we've got a full set of surface mounted diodes, SMDs. I think looking off this backwards here, the engine management light is this top one here. If I just turn that round, yeah, you've got your two lights. I'll just show you a bit closer. You've got your two lights, and then you've got your engine management light here. So I'm going to put these to the side now, and let's go out to the car and whip them clocks out. To take these dials out, it's pretty simple. I think you just pull this off, and then you've got one Torx screw. So let's put the camera down and get these ones whipped out. We've got a clip missing here, which shows that's already been off, and then we've got a Torx 20 just on the top here. Multi-plug on the back. If you can see that, just push it down, it should pop out. And that's the clocks out. Let's get back into the workshop and see what they've done. We've got the clocks out of the car here. I'm going to carefully take these apart now and then see exactly what they've done to this engine management light. And there you go. Let's just zoom in to the right side. They've stuck some in the hole there. So let's just pause the camera and zoom in properly and let's have a look. They've literally just plugged the hole. If we look at the ones that I got off eBay, it's like a little tunnel, and they've just bunged it up with what looks like a little bit of insulation tape. I'm hoping when I pull that out that they've not done anything to the bulb underneath, but we'll soon find out. I don't know if you can see there on the end of the pick, but it's just basically 3M body tape that they've stuffed in there. There looks no damage to the LED, but let's get these quickly built back up. There's a bit of dust on them as well. Give them a quick wipe down, get them built back up, and let's get them back in this car. The clocks are back in now. I'm just going to put the ignition on and hopefully we see an engine management light. There it is. And then I'm going to start it up and hopefully we should still hear that beep, which again is probably telling you that it's either overdue a service or that engine management light's on. But that's shocking. That I understand why they've done it now, because I was saying I can't believe they've gone to all that trouble for the sake of an £100 valve. But if you can whip them clocks out in 2 minutes and just bung the light, that's exactly what they've done and saved themselves a £100 part. Horrible. Anyway, next one, let's get onto this electric window. Under this panel where the OBD port reader is, just literally pull it off and you can see there that's supposed to be plugged into a green box, which is the electric window module, which is screwed under there. It's hard to show you, I'll show you in a minute when I've put it in. But I've managed to get hold of one and I'll show it you now. This is the electric window module. It sits underneath like this with the brown plug in it. I think it's 2 Torx 20s that hold it in. They're about between £50 and £75 these. I don't know if you can get them cheaper from a scrapyard, but that's how much they are on eBay. So I'm just going to plug this in quickly and then hope that that fixes it. Let's turn the ignition on, button lights up. And we've got a working window. Don't worry, I have ordered a replacement button for this and I'll swap that out when I do these dash lights. That's what the bulbs were for. that you saw on the workshop bench there. That's the electric window module, screwed into place, all safe and sound, so I'll get the cover put back on. Next job is let's crack on and get this rocker cover off and replace the gasket, give it a clean up. The next job on the list today is to sort the rocker cover gasket leak. We've got to take this cover off, take this pipe off here, and take the airbox pipe off as well. I'll get that done now, and then we'll have a look at what's going on. That's all that out of the way, and you can see we've got oil leaking all around that rocker cover gasket. So we've just got, I think it's 7-8 millis now to take off, and we can pop this rocker cover off and put the new gasket on it. You can see all around where that gasket's failed and just pissing oil out everywhere. So I'm going to cover this up now with a rag, clean it off, get as much of this out as I can, clean it with a brake cleaner, and hopefully that's the end of the oil leak. I've given that surface a good clean off and sprayed all brake cleaner down there. I'll try and clean it up a little bit more when the rocker cover goes back on, but let's change that gasket over. We've got the new gasket there and the old one. I don't know if you can see here, there seems to almost be like flat spots in the gasket where it looks like them were the parts where the oil was leaking out. So fingers crossed this fixes it. So I've pretty much got it in place there. I'm just going to push it down now and get it back on the car. That's the rocker cover back in place. So there's a tightening sequence to these, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then 7. The torque settings for these is 10 Newton meters. I'm going to put a picture on the screen now from the Haynes manual for this car saying 10 Newton meters before anyone starts crying. So I'm going to work my way through that sequence now and get them tightened up. That's the rocker cover back on with a new gasket. I'm going to give it a good clean off again with the brake cleaner and hope it burns off on a good run. Next job is to just simply reverse what I did earlier and get it built back up. Everything's built back up now. This airbox is probably the best fitting one I've had on all the Berlingos, but I don't know if you can see there, them grommets have gone, and you would have seen on the bench when I was working earlier, I have got replacement grommets. It's just I'm going to put them on when I change the air filter, when I do a full service on this car. So I've just got the top cover to put back on now and it's done. Engine cover's back on. When I service this car, I'll give it a right good clean underneath here and make it look brand new. That's some more jobs ticked off the list. I know we've not fixed the engine management light fault, but I'm just glad it's back on and we've worked out why it wasn't showing up. Still dodgy behaviour whoever's done that. I'm just happy we've got the oil leak sorted. We've got an electric window that works now, so that's more jobs ticked off the list. We've still got the EGR valve to do. Hopefully that will fix the engine management light issue. We've got the ABS ghost fault as well, just a slight activation under low speeds, and this door behind me won't lock with the car. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks again to everyone who watches and likes them and subscribes, and I'll see you in the next video.